Hi everyone, and welcome to this course on building your data science resume in 2025 the right way. I am Somil Jain, a data science trainee at Analytics Vidhya, and I'm super excited to guide you through a journey that's not just about writing better resumes, but about telling your story in a way that gets you hired. Now, this first video is all about setting the stage. We will answer a simple but critical question. In the age of AI, portfolios, and LinkedIn profile, does your resume even matter anymore? Spoiler alert, yes it does. In fact, more than ever. So let's dive in. Did you know that most resumes today are scanned by AI systems, not a human, and that are discarded in under 7 seconds? Yes, 7 seconds. That means even before a recruiter sees your resume or your projects, your resume is already being judged, scored, and ranked all by a machine. In 2025, building a smart resume isn't just a formality, it's survival. And in this course, I'll show you how to beat the bots and impress the humans, one section at a time. There's a common misconception floating around that if you have a great portfolio, an active GitHub, or an optimized LinkedIn profile, you don't need a resume anymore. But that's simply not true, especially if you're applying for data science or tech roles in today's competitive landscape. Here's why resumes remain your first checkpoint, no matter how awesome your online presence is. First, first checkpoint for recruiters and ATS. Before any recruiters check out your portfolio, your resume is the first filter. Applicant Tracking System, ATS for short, scan your resume for key details, and if you don't make it past this step, no one ever sees your portfolio or LinkedIn. Key in global and remote hiring. Remote jobs and global companies often use standardized resume passing systems to shortlist candidates. These systems need a clear, well structured resume to work their magic. Even in AI driven hiring, AI tools now summarize, score, and rank resumes. They don't analyze your GitHub activity or read your blog post. They focus on resume's content and how closely it matches the job description. Now, let's talk about what actually changed in resume building in 2025. If you haven't updated your approach, you might be already behind. So here's what different now. First, AI and ATS first. Resumes are now read first by algorithms, not humans. The applicant tracking system or ATS is the first gatekeeper for most roles, especially in tech and data science. If your resume isn't machine readable or doesn't contain the right signals, it won't even reach a real person. Second, score based shortlisting. Score based shortlisting is the new norm. It's not just about having good content, it's about matching your resume to the job exact requirements. These systems assign score based on keyword alignment, formatting, and relevance. Structure formatting and targeted language now directly impact whether you get shortlisted. No more visual trend. The trend of super visual resume is fading. While design still matters a bit, flashy graphics, colorful layout, and charts can actually hurt your chances. What works now is clean structure, solid content, and using contextual keywords that ATS is looking for. Fourth, customization is mandatory. Customization is no longer optional. Sending the same generic resume to every job just won't work. Each application needs a tailored resume that aligns your skills and experience with the specific role. Otherwise, you will get filtered out by modern screening systems. So, what happens when your resume isn't up to the mark? You might get filtered out even if you are qualified. You will miss out on remote and global roles because your resume doesn't align with what ATS systems are looking for. And worst, your story, your skills, and your value go unnoticed in a crowded job market. I have seen this happen with great candidates. Resumes that undersell their capabilities or don't pass the filters, and it's painful because it's fixable. And that's exactly what we are going to fix. Thanks for watching this first video. Now that we have set the context, let's start building your resume piece by piece. In the next video, we will take a close look at what ideal resume in 2025 actually look like. We'll break down the key sections, the structure, and what makes a resume recruiter friendly and AI ready. Let's get started.
Just a quick note, Analytics Vidya has 100 plus free courses from beginner to advanced on topics like machine learning, generative AI, agents, etc. Complete with certification. Click the I button to explore now.
Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to explore a question that every job seeker needs to ask before they hit the apply button. What actually makes a resume stand out in 2025? Is it the design, the length, the keywords, or the projects? Well, the truth is, it's a combination of all these and more. Because in today's hiring landscape, your resume is not just a list of roles, it's a story, it's a decision making tool, and above all, it's your personal algorithm, one that needs to match what recruiters and AI tools are searching for. So let's understand what makes a resume shine in the new reality. Let's rewind a bit. A decade ago, resumes were pretty straightforward. You listed your degree, added a few bullet points about your job, and call it a day. But that's not enough anymore. In 2025, your resume needs to do three things, and it needs to do them fast. It needs to tell your story, it needs to match the language of job description, and it needs to pass an AI scan in under 7 seconds. That's a big ask, but totally doable once you know the structure. Think of it like this. Your resume today is like homepage of your professional website. It's your digital storefront. People should be able to glance at it and immediately understand who you are, what you bring, and why you are worthy shortlisting. Now, let's talk about structure because this is where many resumes go wrong. Let me give you a real world analogy. Imagine walking into a well organized supermarket. Every aisle is labeled, categories are grouped, and you can find what you need instantly. That's what your resume should feel like. Here's why your structure is everything. A well structured resume ensures your most important skills and achievement aren't overlooked. Recruiters and especially ATS software rely on clear sectioning to pass your information accurately. If your layout is messy, the system won't even read your strengths. And finally, you need to strike a balance between telling your story and using role specific keywords. One without other won't work. So now let's break down what goes into a well-structured, high-impact resume. This is your resume blueprint. Let's walk through each section, top to bottom, and I'll explain you what it is for and how to get it right. Now, let's talk about structure because this is where many resumes go wrong. Let me give you a real-world analogy. Imagine walking into a well-organized supermarket. Every aisle is labeled, categories are grouped, and you can find what you need instantly. That's what your resume should feel like. Here's why structure is everything. A well-structured resume ensures your most important skills and achievement aren't overlooked. Recruiters and especially ATS software rely on clear sectioning to pass your information accurately. If your layout is messy, the system won't even read your strengths. And finally, you need to strike a balance between telling your story and using role-specific keywords. One without another won't work. So, let's now break down what goes into a well-structured and high-impact resume. This is your resume blueprint. Let's walk through each section, top to bottom, and I'll explain you what it is for and how to get it right. Professional header. Start with basics. Full name, location, just city and country, email and links to your LinkedIn or portfolio. If you are applying for remote roles, make sure your location is visible. Recruiters' filters are based on geography too. Professional summary. This is your elevator pitch. Who you are, your domain, your focus, and what you are targeting. Tailor this based on the job. If you're a data scientist moving into Gen AI, say so here. It sets the tone. Next, skill section. This is where most ATS scoring happens. Group your skills, technical like Python, SQL, Pandas, tools like Power BI, and even soft skills if relevant. Don't dump, curate based on the job description. Experience section. Start with job title, company, duration. Then for each role, write 2 to 4 bullet points showing what you did, what tools you used, and what outcomes you achieved. We will go deep in bullet points writing in the next module. Next section is education section. List only relevant degrees or certifications. You don't need to go all the way back to the high school. If you're switching careers, add your data related certifications here. One bonus tip for certifications and tools. If you're applying for a technical role, this section helps you stand out. Mention version specific tools like Python 3.9, Tableau 2023, LangChain or Transformers 4.32. Each of these components works together to give a 360-degree snapshot of your capabilities. Now, let's talk about what's new. In 2025, hiring has become more creative and more digital. So, a few optional modern add-ons can give your resume a boost. A QR code to your GitHub or portfolio. This is especially great if you're applying for a tech, design, or freelancer roles. Visual resume. Not recommended as your primary resume, but good as a supporting document when sharing online. Video resume, very useful if you are in a creative or client facing field like product marketing, pre sales, or creator economy roles. And one trend we are seeing, AI tools are getting better at reading between the lines. So even your soft skills, if written well inside your bullet points, can be detected and scored. Just remember, these are add-ons, not replacement. Don't skip the core structure. So, now that you know what makes up a powerful modern resume, it's time to look inward. In the next video, we will show you how to audit your existing resume line by line and figure out what's working and what's missing and what needs a revamp. Thanks for sticking with me so far. Let's keep building and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to do something very important. We are going to learn how to look at resume with a critical lens. If you ever stared at your resume thinking, is this good enough? You're not alone. There is a reason for that. Recruiters today spend less than 7 seconds scanning your resume. That's it. You either grab their attention or you don't. And in those 7 seconds, everything, the word you use, the way you format your section, all play a role. So today we'll walk through each major part of the resume and talk about what adds value and what quietly kills your chances. Most hiring managers do what called a pattern scan. They are hunting for job titles, keyword, outcomes, familiar tools. If your resume doesn't surface those quickly, it gets passed. This video will help you make intentional decisions, just like what should stay, what should go, and why formatting, clarity, and language matters even more in AI ATS dominated world. Let's begin. Right at the top, your professional summary, also known as the resume headline. This tiny 2 to 3 line is where you hook the recruiter. But here's the problem. Most people waste it. You don't want to sound like everyone else. Motivated team player, highly passionate data enthusiast. These phrases don't mean anything to the hiring system or recruiters. What should you do instead? Keep it crisp. Start with your job title, your domain focus, years of experience, and maybe major win or toolset. A good example is data scientist with 3 plus years in marketing analytics, skilled in Python, Power BI, XGBoost, improve customer segment accuracy by 20%. See the difference? It's sharp, credible, and role aligned. Next, the work experience section. This is where most resumes either come alive or fall flat. What not to do? Writing vague responsibilities like manage data, using full paragraphs. No one reads them. Starting every bullet point with I did this. What actually work is action verbs like build, optimized, deployed, tool and technology. Like for example, built an ML pipeline using scikit-learn and Airflow. Measurable results. Reduced downtime by 35%. Improved churn prediction by 12%. Your bullet point should read like mini impact stories, not daily task logs. One best trick is read your bullet point aloud. If it sounds like a generic job description, rewrite it with specificity. Let's now talk structure. Every job entry should clearly show job title, company name, and a brief description if it's not well known. Duration in months or year, no need to give exact dates, and bullet points either your achievements or responsibility, but not in paragraph. Also, don't list everything you ever done. Focus on achievement. What did you build, fixed, improve, or automate? Tailor it. Use the language of the job you are applying for and highlight only recent and relevant work. You don't need your entire career history. Consider ATS. Use clean formatting, no tables or fancy boxes. Just clean, left aligned bullets with common terms the ATS can understand. Now, let's summarize some best practices here. Keep only the most relevant 10 to 15 years of experience. Use the job description as a mirror. Align your resume with what it asks for. Don't let formatting ruin great content. Avoid columns, symbols, or tiny fonts. List your most impactful contribution first. And remember, if a resume doesn't mention a specific skill or if it is not formatted right, ATS bot will automatically reject it. Your job is to prevent that from happening. Now, let's talk education. This section is simple but still often misused. Let's see what not to include. High school info, unless you are just starting out. Your marks or GPA, unless specifically asked. Every online course you have taken. What you should include. Degree or program name. Institution name. Dates attended in month and year format. One optional thing is key coursework and thesis only if it is relevant. If you're still studying, mention your expected graduation date. If you're mid-career, keep this brief, just the essentials. Here's an example of how it should look. MSc Space Syntax, Architecture and Cities, Bartlett School of Architecture, UCL, 08-2021 to 06-2024. That's it. Clean, clear, no distractions. And one bonus tip, always list in reverse chronological order. Keep formatting consistent. Don't add GPA unless it's really strong. Above 3.5, I would recommend. Education isn't a make or break section, but messy formatting or irrelevant information here can make your resume look less focused. Now, the skills section, possibly the second most scanned section after work experience. Here, most people just dump the list, but we are smarter than that. Divide your skills into two buckets. Hard skills, tools and technologies, example Python, SQL, Tableau, Pandas, Docker, and soft skills, traits, behavior like teamwork, communication, adaptability. Don't just copy paste the JD, match it thoroughly and never lie. If you claim expertise in something, you should be ready to speak about it in the interview. Now let's look how to visually and structurally present your skills because the layout here matters more than the people think. Look at this example on the screen. You will see that technical skills, HTML, Python, MySQL, etc. are laid out cleanly with the subtle visual indicators of proficiency. And soft skills like communication, teamwork, and negotiation are grouped below and easy to scan. Now, a word of caution. These visual skill bar, they look great, but they can break ATS passing. So only use this formatting if it's going into a PDF for a human reader, not if you're uploading to a portal that uses ATS. More importantly, do not lie about your skills level. More importantly, do not lie about your skill level. If you are rated expert in Bash, but you can't write a shell script in an interview, that's not just awkward, it's a trust breaker. Think of your resume as your API. It should return only true values. Think of resumes as your API. It should return only true values. Now, let's wrap up with 3 essential practice for building a strong skills section. Step 1. Always separate hard and soft skills. Don't mix Python with communication in one bullet list. That's like mixing data types in same column, confusing and messy. Create separate subsections and name them clearly. You could even label them by category, data science stack, cloud tools, communication strengths, etc. Step 2. Show skill depth if possible. If you list a skill, try to reflect your proficiency level through examples or even with beginner, intermediate, advanced tags. Example, Python advanced, Tableau intermediate, Spark beginner. It shows maturity and honesty and helps the recruiter frame questions accordingly. Step 3. Include transferable skills. This is especially important if you are switching careers or roles. Skills like SQL, report automation, stakeholder communication, these may have come from a non-data science background, but they are still incredibly relevant. Just contextualize them in your project or bullet points. Bottom line, your resume should always give a complete picture. What do you know? How do you know? What you can transfer and apply. With that, your skill section is not just a list, it becomes a proof of your readiness. Thanks for sticking through this deep dive. You now know what makes or breaks a resume and how every section, if done right, can boost your chances. In the next video, we will learn to format resume into a clean ATS-friendly expectation. Let's do it. Welcome to the final video of this module. By now, you know why resume still matters, what an ideal one look like, and what to include or avoid. But here's a twist. Even with the right content, your resume can fail at the very first step if it isn't formatted correctly. In this video, we will show you how to make your resume work not just for humans, but for machines too. Because in 2025, your resume needs to speak fluent ATS. Let's start with the hard truth. You could have the perfect mix of Python, Power BI, and solid project experience. But if your resume doesn't pass an ATS scan, no one will ever see it. No recruiter, no hiring manager, nothing. Think of your resume as data and the ATS as the first passer. If it failed to read your input, the output is zero. Formatting isn't about making your resume look pretty. It's about making it readable by machine and by the people who scan 100 resumes a day. ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. It's a software tool that 95% of the companies now use, from startups to Fortune 500. What does it do? It passes resumes like structured data, looking for specific keywords, relevant experiences, and job specific signals. And here's the key thing. It doesn't see design, it doesn't see layout, it doesn't care about the icons and the colored fonts. All it sees is, can I extract keywords? Can I match this to the job description? Can I rank this profile? If your resume isn't built to be machine readable, it may never make it to human review. Here's how the process actually works behind the scenes. Step 1. You hit apply, your resume goes straight into the ATS. Step 2. The ATS scans your resume. It extracts keywords, job titles, dates, and skill names. Step 3. It scores your resume based on how closely it matches the job description. Step 4. The ATS compares your skills and experience with what needed, tools like SQL, PyTorch, Churn, Prediction, etc. Step 5. Based on this, it shortlists the top ranked resume for human review. If your resume has poor formatting, missing keywords, or unreadable layout, it's game over before it even begins. Now let's talk about what an ATS optimized resume actually look like. One page. Keep it concise. Even ATS tool favor brevity because it's easier to parse and index. Reverse chronological order. Always list your most recent experience first. Why? Because that's what both ATS and recruiters prioritize. Tailored skills. Mirror the job description. If the JD says LangChain or Tableau, don't say LLM framework or BI tools. Use the same term. Simple layout. No tables, no sidebar, no graphics. Stick to clean lines, standard fonts like Arial or Roboto. In short, think of this resume as a clean data frame. No nested columns, no formatting noise, just rows and structured values. Let's now break it down into step 4. Step 1. Choose the right format. There are 3 formats: chronological, best for ATS, and most professional. Functional, skill first, not great for ATS passing. Combination, okay, but risky if not structured well. Go with chronological. It's what recruiters and ATS are most comfortable with. Step 2. Adjust the layout. Keep 1-inch margins. Step 2. Adjust the layout. Keep 1-inch margins. Use clean fonts. Laura, Roboto, Arial. Font size 10 to 12 points for text, 14 to 16 points for headings. Always use bullet points, never paragraphs. Never use icons, images, or graphs. Step 3. Stick to one page. If you are under 8 to 10 years of experience, one pager is the gold standard. But interesting twist, longer resume may actually rank higher in ATS if keyword density is good. Just don't write fluff to fill space. Step 4. Save and submit right. Always save your resume as a PDF unless stated otherwise. Never use JPGs, Google Docs, or fancy resume builders unless you know how they export to PDF. If you format this right, your resume gets parsed like clean JSON, and that's what you want. Let me give you a quick example. Say your last job was in 2024, where you built a customer segmentation pipeline using DBScan, PySpark, and Google BigQuery. If you bury that under your 2021 role where you worked on Excel dashboard, you are hiding the most compelling part of your story. And recruiters, they don't scroll for context, they skim for recency. This format also adds a layer of credibility. It shows progression. It lets you show growth in responsibility, complexity, or skill, which matters deeply in tech and data roles. So whether you are fresher, career switcher, or mid-level pro, reverse chronological is your best bet. Think of it as your git log. The latest commit always comes first. And that's a wrap for module 1. We covered why resume matters, what makes a great one, what to include and avoid, and now how to format your resume like a pro. You have built the foundation. In the next module, we will get hands-on and start writing your data science resume section by section. You will learn how to write powerful bullet points, tailor for your projects, and bring AI into the resume building process. See you there. Welcome to Module 2, where we shift gears from understanding resume structure to actually building your resume section by section. And we are starting with the most overlooked but absolutely mission critical piece, your resume summary. This is the first section most recruiters read. It's also the part that can instantly make them stop scrolling or hit next. So in this video, I am going to help you write a summary that doesn't just fill space, it sells your story. Let's be honest, you get about 6 seconds of attention when someone looks at your resume, and most of that is spent reading what's right on top. If your summary says something like passionate data enthusiast looking for opportunities, it's already game over for you. That lines tell recruiters nothing. It doesn't show what you have done, it doesn't show your skills, and it doesn't help the ATS either. Your summary isn't fluff paragraph, it's your pitch. In few lines, you need to answer three questions: who you are, what do you bring, what are you aiming for? So, what does a great data science summary actually look like? Let's break it down into three elements. First, role aligned. Your summary should match the job you are applying for. If it's an ML engineer role, don't talk like general analyst. Use role specific language and keywords from the JD. Second, quantifiable and tool specific. Mention the tools you use: Python, SQL, scikit-learn, and the kind of problems you solve. If you built a fraud detection model, say it. Numbers and result make you memorable. Third, domain and career interest. Tailor your summary based on where you are heading. If your passion is NLP or healthcare AI, or if you are pivoting from finance background, make that visible. Most resumes fail here because they are trying to be everything to everyone. But your summary, it should feel personal, focused, key optimized, and aligned with your next step. Let me now give you three plug and play structures for writing your summary, depending on where you are in your career. Formula 1. For experienced professionals, data scientists with 3+ years of experience in e-commerce and marketing analytics, skilled in Python, SQL, and machine learning, built recommendation system that improved click-through by 25%. Why it works? Is short, sharp, and specific. Show experience, tools, and impact. Formula 2. For freshers and entry level. Aspiring data scientists with a solid foundation in Python, statistics, and machine learning. Built end-to-end projects on customer churn prediction and sales forecasting. Certified by Analytics Vidhya and Coursera. Why it works? You're not pretending to have experience. You're showing what you have learned and how you applied it. Formula 3. For career switchers, especially from tech. Software engineering transitioning into data science with strong Python and SQL skills. Built machine learning models on product usage data to improve retention. Experience with Pandas, scikit-learn, and Power BI. Why it works? It owns your past, shows technical readiness, and highlights the transition clearly. Choose the one that matches your path and tweak it with your own numbers, tools, and projects. Now, let's look at real-world transformation. Highly motivated team player with a passion for data and desire to learn. This tells me nothing. I don't know what tools you know, what you have built, and what are you aiming for. A strong example is data science graduate with 6+ academic projects across NLP and time series. Proficient in Python, NumPy, and scikit-learn. Final year project predicted stock prices with 85% accuracy. Now that tells a story. It shows your background, your tools, your project experience, and give me a reason to keep reading. So here's your challenge. Rewrite your current resume summary using one of the formulas we discussed. Start with your tools, add your domain, include projects or metrics, and tie it all to your next role. Because remember, this is your first impression, make it count. In the next video, we will jump into the skill section and I'll show you how to organize your stack so that it passes ATS filters and impresses hiring managers at a glance. See you there. Welcome back. In this video, we are tackling one of the most important and most mishandled section of a data science resume, the skill section. Why does this matter? Because your tech stack is the heartbeat of your resume. But simply dumping every tool you have ever heard of, from Excel macros to Kubernetes, won't land you interviews. Let's fix that. Here's a common site, a skill section that reads like a laundry list: Python, SQL, Tableau, TensorFlow, NumPy, Power BI, SAS, MongoDB, Git, Excel, Docker, Hadoop, scikit-learn, Kubernetes. It looks impressive, but here's the secret: more isn't better. Listing 20 tools doesn't mean you are skilled in all of them. And ATS systems, they are trained to match depth, not just the presence. If your resume says Kubernetes, but your project experience has nothing to support it, that's a red flag. So, your skill section need to do two things: match the job description, reflect only what you actually work with. We will show you how. Let's call it out. Here are 5 major mistakes people make. Dumping every tool they ever touch, including things like Excel, macros, or SAS, even if they haven't used them in years. Mixing everything in one list: Python, SQL, Tableau, MongoDB, C++, Hadoop. No structure, no categories. Adding buzzwords without context: reinforcement learning, Dockers, LLMs, even though they never use them in projects. Using vague labels as data science, AI, machine learning as standalone skills. They are domains, not tools. Adding soft skills here, like leadership, communication, or team player, those belong in your summary or experience bullet, not your tech stack. Why does this fail? Because clutter hides signals. And in 2025, both ATS and recruiters are scanning for precision, not noise. If your skills don't match the project bullets, you lose trust. If your tools aren't categorized, the ATS can't rank you properly. And if you are vague, you just sound generic. Now, let's fix it. There are two ways to structure your skills section depending on space and your experience level. Option 1, categorize grid, highly recommended. Group tools under themes like programming, like Python, SQL, data manipulation, pandas and NumPy, visualization, Tableau and Power BI, machine learning, scikit-learn, XGBoost, deep learning, TensorFlow, Keras. This is ATS friendly, human readable and easy to tailor. Option 2, compact keyword line. If space is tight, you can go for single line. Python, SQL, Pandas, NumPy, Scikit-learn, Tableau, TensorFlow, Git, AWS. This works, but it's less readable and harder to scan. Avoid it in longer resumes. I'll give you a pro tip. Don't bold or color keywords just for ATS. Formatting doesn't help passing. Structure those. Now, let's apply what we just learned using a real job description. Here's a job description that asks for ML and NLP, supervised, unsupervised prompt engineering, dev tools like Python, Fast API, Docker, and cloud deployment like AWS, GCP, Azure, REST API. How would you mirror this in your resume? Don't worry, I got you. You could structure your skills like this: programming and dev like Python, Fast API, ML and NLP, scikit-learn, XGBoost, transformers, prompt tuning, deployment and cloud, AWS, REST, APIs, Docker, other Git, Pandas, NumPy. Here's the key. You're not lying. You are aligning your resume to the job. You're showing depth with tools you actually used. This boosts your ATS match rate and show the recruiter that you are job ready. Before you finalize your skill section, ask yourself 3 questions. Are they grouped logically? Use categories. Don't dump. Clean structure, build trust. Do they match what the job asks for? Always read the job description carefully. Then reflect those keywords in your resume. Are these tools I have actually used? If not in a job, then in a project. Don't list things you can't explain in an interview. And remember, it's okay to list only 7 to 10 core tools. That's more than enough if they are sharp and relevant. And as Einstein said, out of clutter, find simplicity. Alright, you now have a skill section that works like a well-labeled dataset. It's clean, it's organized, and it's tailored. In the next video, we will shift to your experience section and I'll teach you how to write bullet points and prove your impact, not just activity. Let's keep building. Welcome back. So far in this module, we have structured your summary and sharpened your skill section. Now, we will tackle the heart of your resume, the experience section. But here's a problem. Most resumes describe responsibilities, not results. People say things like worked on dashboards or handle SQL queries and hope that's enough, but it's not. In this video, I'll show you how to write bullet points that don't just describe what you did, they prove what you delivered. Let's call it out. These phrases sound familiar, right? Built a dashboard, worked on a model, analyzed some data. They are not wrong, they are just incomplete. The biggest mistake people make writing job description instead of outcomes. The biggest mistake people make is writing job description instead of outcomes. They'll say, handle sales data, responsible for ML pipelines, worked on reports. But what tools did you use? What was the scale of the data? What changed because of your work? If you don't add those, you're not showcasing impact. You're listing tasks. This section is proof of your work. Let's learn how to write it like that. Let's look at some classic mistakes people make in this section. Using vague verbs like worked on, handled, or involved in. These don't show initiative or ownership. Not mentioning tools, metrics, or business values, which are the core of any data science workflow. Writing the same bullets for every job instead of tailoring them to each role. Remember, recruiters don't know what you did, they only know what you tell them. And they are looking for what you did, how you did it, and what changed because of it. So let's now see how we take those generic lines and turn them into impact bullets. Let's walk through some transformations. Before, worked on ML model for customer churn, and built, and after, built churn model using scikit-learn and XGBoost, on 50K users, boosting retention by 15%. Before, created dashboard in Power BI. After, developed Power BI dashboard for campaigns KPIs, reducing reporting time by 50%. Before, handle SQL queries for business reports. After, optimize SQL queries across 3 departments, reducing data processing time by 40%. See the pattern. We started with a strong verb, then name the tool, and then show impact. That's the magic of star plus tool plus impact. Here's the formula that works every time. Action verb plus task plus tool used plus outcome or impact. Let me break that down using the STAR method. S stands for situation or task. Where were you and what needed solving? T. Tool used. What tech stack did you use? A. Action taken. What did you actually do? R. Result or impact. What changed and can we measure it? Now you won't write out star on the resume, but think in this structure helps you frame the bullets. Let's go one level deeper. Say your project was about customer churn. Here situation is you collected 12 months of customer usage data, engineered behavioral features and decided to predict churn. You used tools like Python, Pandas, Scikit-learn, XGBoost, and the action was you built and evaluated the model, tuned hyperparameters, presented findings. Result, you hit 87% AUC and marketing was able to identify and retain 15% more high-risk users. Now compress that into one line. Built a churn prediction model using Python, Scikit-learn and XGBoost on 50K customer records, achieving 87% AUC and enabling 15% reduction in churn. That's a bullet that hits. Let's apply this to a real job description. Here's what the job description asks for. And here are some good bullet points. Build track system using LangChain, Pinecone, GPT-4 API and improved accuracy by 24%. Fine-tuned Falcon 7B. Response time improved 3 times. Developed custom prompt templates in Autogen. Hallucination dropped by 18%. Integrated chatbot using Fast API and Docker. Query resolution time down by 32%. This tells you what to write. Now imagine your role was data analyst. Now transitioning to LLM focused role. Your bullets could be built a RAG question answer system using LangChain, Pinecone and GPT-4, improving document query accuracy by 24%. Fine-tuned Falcon 7B for internal chatbot cutting response time by 3x. See how that directly mirrors the job description while being honest and tailored to your work. That's what great resumes do. Before finalizing any bullet, ask, is the outcome measurable? Improve retention by 15%, reduce time by 30%, achieve 87% AUC. This is the proof. Can someone outside my team understand it? Avoid internal jargons. Write for someone in the same industry but not from your company. Does it start with an action verb? Avoid was a part of or responsible for. Say what you did directly. If every bullet is your experience passes this checklist, your resume will land interviews. You have now got the blueprint to write the experience bullets that actually prove your impact. In the next video, we will shift to projects and I'll show you how to showcase personal or academic projects that hold weight, especially if you're early in your career or pivoting into data science. Let's keep going. Alright, welcome back. If you are someone who's just starting out or shifting into data science from another field, this video is specially for you. Because here's the truth about hiring in 2025. Recruiters don't care whether you learned machine learning from a university, a YouTube channel, or a weekend workshop. What they care about is how you apply what you learn. That's where your project section becomes your secret weapon. When you don't have the direct experience, projects become your experience. Let me tell you something most people don't realize. Your project section can actually be more impressive than your work experience if written the right way. In fact, recruiters today understand that many data science professionals are self-taught, bootcamp trained, or pivoting from other fields. So, if your resume leads with built a fraud detection model using scikit-learn on real transactional data, flagged 92% anomalies, that's 10x more powerful than worked in operations for 3 years at a retail company. This video is about teaching you how to write those kind of project bullets. Let's break it down. Who benefits the most from strong project section? Freshers or early career folks. If you don't have job titles yet, your projects prove your potential. Career switchers. Coming from finance, operations or marketing, show that you have applied data tools to real problems. Freelancers or self-taught learners, you may not have a job experience, but you have built apps, dashboard, models, or automated workflow that counts. The bottom line is, if you don't have job stories yet, your project stories have to carry your resume. Let's now learn how to write them well. There's a simple 4-part formula that works beautifully. Project title plus domain. Give it a real world context like customer churn prediction, telecom, tool used, be specific like Python, Pandas, scikit-learn, and a problem statement in one line. What was the goal? Prediction churn based on usage and demographics. And what was the outcome and what you learned? What changed because of your project? Did it hit an accuracy, solve a real pain point, or teach you something substantial? A good example is build a logistic regression model using Python and scikit-learn on 10K customers' records to predict the churn with 80% accuracy. Deployed via Streamlit for demo. It tells that what, how, and why in one line. That's exactly what recruiters want. This is very common doubt, so let's clarify it. If you are a fresher or career switcher, put projects before work experience. Label it clearly. Projects or academic projects. It becomes your strongest section. If you are a mid-level with some data work already, keep work experience on top but add a section called key projects or data science projects below to highlight side works, self-led initiatives or transition efforts. Remember, it's not about where the project was done. It's about what it proves. Place your strongest proof first. Now, let's avoid the trap that makes projects sound weak or unconvincing. Mistake number 1, being too vague or too technical. Built a CNN on CFAR 10 using PyTorch. A better version is built an optimized CNN on CFAR 10 using PyTorch, achieving 92% accuracy in image classification. Mistake number 2, writing like a GitHub README. This repo has 3 folders: SRC, data, and notebooks. Better version is focus on your role, tools, impact, not the folder structure. Mistake number 3, missing tools or business context. Create a dashboard to analyze sales. A better version is develop Tableau dashboard for regional sales teams, saving 4 hours every week of manual reporting. Your project bullets are not documentation, they are mini case studies written for recruiters. Before we wrap, run each of your project bullets through this 3-question checklist. Did I quantify results or explain what I learned? Number speaks louder than the code. Would this interest a recruiter hiring for the role I want? Is it relevant, impressive, or recent? Does each project solve a real world problem? Toy data sets are fine, but frame the outcome in terms of values, not just code. Your project bullet should read like proof of readiness, not class assignment. You have just learned how to write project section that can literally carry your resume, especially if you're light on work experience. Now, let's quickly build resume using Rezi.ai. Head over to Rezi.ai, click on Create Free Resume. You will see a pop-up asking which document do you want to create today. We'll click on Resume. Then it will ask us how would you like to create your resume. Like there are multiple options like from scratch, from resume samples, from LinkedIn. We'll go with from scratch. Now they will ask you, do you want to tailor your resume for a job post? Sure, we'll do that. Now here they will ask you if you want to create a job tailored resume or a general purpose resume. We will go with job tailored resume. Now it will ask us some questions about that job. So role you're targeting for, like generative AI intern. Like field or domain is data science. Paste a job description. Now here we got the job description for generative AI intern at Analytics Vidhya. So here's the job description. We'll just copy everything and paste it here, and we'll click on continue. Now you will land up on this page where it will ask you about your information. So I'll just fill out my information. My name is Somil Jain. My number is 1234567 Personal website or relevant links. Here you can link your portfolio, GitHub, or link a website where you post things related to your field. So I'm gonna give the link to my blog profile here. Now it is asking for state. I'll just remove that. Now it's asking for my email address, so I'll just give my email address. Now it is asking for my LinkedIn URL. I'll just give it, and I'll click here to check it if it's correct or not. Yeah, the link is correct. And finally the country I am in, India. save the basic information, and then we move on to experience section. Here they're going to ask you about your previous experiences. So what was your role at the company? So I was a machine learning intern before. The company name was Pi. So it's asking how long were you with Pi. So I was from December 2024 to February 2025, and where was Pi located? It was in Mumbai. Now this is the most important part of your experience section. Here recruiters find answer to the questions like what did you do, how did you do, the tools you used, and what impact did it make. So you need better bullet points in this section. Now this is the most important part of your experience section. Recruiters here look for answers like what did you do, which tool did you use, what impact did it make. Now here I'll add some bullet points like what I did in the company and ask Rezi to generate better bullet points using AI. Now you can see I got better bullet points using AI with just one click using Rezi. I'll just add those here. So I've added the bullet points Rezi created for me. I'll add a new experience here, my experience too. So in my experience today asking me what was the role. So I was a data science intern. For which company did you work? Oh, Analytics Vidhya. So I was data science intern from February 2025 to June. Yeah. And where is Analytics Vidya located? It's in Gurugram. And what did you do at Analytics Vidya? I'll repeat the same thing what I did in Experience 1 and just add the AI generated. That's it. Now I've added my experience, then I'll move to education section. Here it is asking me what is your degree or the qualification and majors. So I got a BTech in computer science. Where did you earn your BTech in computer science? So I got it from Vellore Institute of Technology. Where is my college located? So it's in Vellore. When did you earn your BTech in computer science? In 2025. And did you minor in anything? Yeah, I did in data science. Data science. What was my GPA? It was 3.82. Now here is an open field for additional information. You can add any additional information if you have. I'll just leave it blank here. And now, apart from the skill section, summary section, I need to add some more sections like projects and certifications. So I'll just add it and head over there. So I'll just add it, save this information and move to the project section. Now I have to give a project title here. So first I'll give an NA10 content creator agent. In which organization did you do NA10? Oh, this project. So I did it in Analytics Vidhya. When did you do it? Oh, it was in January. Till like I did it in January. Any project URL? I don't have the URL right now. Now you're asking me to describe what I did. So I'll just add a little summary about it and asked Rezi.ai to rewrite it for me very smoothly. Now Rezi gave me a good bullet point. I'll just copy this from here, remove all this, add it here, and I'll just save the project list. Now I'll add one more project, that is Twitter trending news automation. In which organization did you do it? Analytics Vidhya. I started it in April. I completed that in April. Any project URL? No. Any project? It's asking me for project description, so I'll just add a project description. Select all this and ask Rezi to rewrite it for me very easily. And here's a tailored bullet point for my project. I'll just copy it, close it and add it here and save the project. So now you know how to add your projects with tailored bullet points using Rezi.ai. Next we'll move to certifications. Now here I'll add few of my certificates here. So what was the certificate name? So it was AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate. And where did you get the certificate? Like from Amazon, AWS, when you got this certificate. So I got it in 2024. And how is the certificate relevant? Now it's asking me how is the certificate relevant. I'll just leave it blank here. Now I'll save the certificate. That's it. And then I'll move to the skill section. Now you know, in the skill section in your resume, you need to add your skills in an organized manner. But here with Rezi, you don't have to worry about it. Simply click on AI Skill Explorer, select the category like hard skills, soft skills, technical skill, language, I'll just add a technical skill. And what did you do? So first of all, I'll just add AI agents. Now it will give me relevant suggestions like like feature engineering, data analytics, data engineering, etc. Data integration. And if I add like lang graph, and if I add machine learning here, I'll get relevant suggestions like statistical model, deep learning, recurrent GANs, etc. So I'll just save it here. And now when you're adding your skills to your resume, just make sure you organize them well. So, and using Rezi.ai, you can do it very easily. Just now you can add more skill in an organized manner using AI Explorer. I'll just select a different category like soft skill, add like team building, and then it will give me suggestions like collaboration skills, strategic alignment. I'll just save this and boom, we are good to go. Similarly, you can add more skills in your resume using this feature. We'll save our skill list and then we finally jump to our summary section. Now, most people struggle writing professional summary for their resume, but Rezi got you covered. Here you have to give your position to highlight, skill to highlight, like I'll add generative AI and I'll ask AI to write it for me. We'll wait for a few seconds and we'll get a professional summary for our resume. And here you can see I got a professional summary tailored for my job description, perfectly ready. Now here you can see I got a perfect professional summary for my given job description. I'll just save the summary and move to finish and preview. Now here you can see we got a well structured resume, and here are some suggestions given by Rezi how to improve them more. You can click on the download PDF and use it to apply for your jobs. Now here are some more features. You can click on auto adjust so that it will adjust your font size and align the resume perfectly. You can click on the adjustments to see if you want to change anything like fonts, size, line height, etc. So finally, we got a ready to apply resume here, built quickly within few minutes using Rezi.